in the previous video, I showed you how to make a slip knot and the chains. Now I made a total of 11, as the 11th stitch here will be what will be known as the chain one when you're doing rounds on top of rounds. So it's like a placeholder. It's what we use as the structural stitch to form the other stitches when you're going in rounds on top of each other. So we're gonna skip that 11th stitch. So in the stitch, the second stitch from the hook, so skip that first. In the second stitch here, we're gonna go into that chain, not stitch, the second chain from the hook. Gonna take the hook and go in there, go under the yarn, secure it in the hook, pull through, almost like you're doing a chain. However, instead of going through everything, you're gonna have 2 loops on the hook from gonna have 2 loops on the hook. So from the loop that was already on the hook and from the yarn that we just pulled through. So once you have 2 loops on the hook, you're gonna go under the yarn once more, secure it on the hook, pull through both, and that's how we make a crochet stitch. Now once more, you already have a loop on the hook. You're gonna go into that next chain, go under the yarn, secure it on the hook, pull through. Now we have 2 loops on the hook. You're gonna go under the yarn once more, pull through both loops, and that's how we make the single crochet stitch or the crochet stitch. Go through the chain, secure the yarn, pull through, pull through both. Now keep practicing until the end of this, and I'll come back and show you how to do a row of single crochets on top of this row of single crochets here. Okay, so now that you have your 10 single crochets, and excluding the 11th stitch, you should have 10 single crochets along the chain here. Now if you want to keep making single crochets on top of this here, what you'll do is the chain 1. Now this chain 1 is equivalent to the 11th chain that we skipped. As I said, it's to aid with structure. And so let me do that again. I'm gonna chain 1 here, turn the work, then here you're gonna have a V. We call it the V here, but it's the top of the single crochet. So you're gonna go through both V's here. So in the stitch that's closest to the chain 1, so ensure that you're not going into the chain 1, but instead you're going into the stitch beside the chain 1. So you're gonna go through both of the V's here, securing the yarn on the hook. You're gonna pull through the single crochet there, 2 loops on the hook, secure the yarn again, pull through both loops. And that's how you make a single crochet on top of another single crochet. So in crochet projects, you'll be stacking stitches on top of stitches most of the time. So you go into the stitch here, going under the yarn, securing it in the hook, pulling through, having 2 loops on the hook, pulling through both loops. And that's how we make these single crochets, stacking on top of single crochets.